so let's formally start this thing. Oh my gosh. This was not even in the making like 3 days ago, right, Claudia?
That's
This
how
is
it
how things are just like
happened. Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna do a retreat. This is our alum meeting, February 10th at 5. I'm like, okay, I need a chef. Who's an amazing chef? And I contact Claudia, and it's just like one thing to another. It's like, oh my gosh, we need to do this. So I'm just gonna give you a little history how Claudia and I met, and Anna also, to the same transformational vehicle forum, which was Women Speak. And this was 5 years ago. I know the date still exactly branded in my mind when it's trauma, right? This was November 2017. My book talk was scheduled at Barnes and Noble. It was going to be a lot of people. I was still freaking out. Did not know how to do any public speaking. There's like 70 people signed up. I was avoiding and in denial. Like I had no like public speaking, any like experience, and was terrified and was avoiding any training, anything. And this is creeping up. The date's creeping up. And I'm just like with my head in the sand. I don't know like how we're gonna do this. So I remember the cafe in Pleasanton. And now I had to put up my flyers for my book talk. I don't know why I was doing this because I had no plan for the book talk. But I'm like putting up these flyers in this cafe, and I'm smacking it right next to another flyer. And I'm looking at it like, I think this is a sign. It was a woman speak flyer. And it's like speaking from the heart and soul. And I'm like, I guess I need to go to this. So then I literally went 2 meetings. They meet once a month. And they basically just drop you in, I'm so thankful that it's methods that I use, in my soul authority thing. So, but only now with speaking. So you basically do this parade and you imagine you have a tail and, you're dropping in, you do ceremony and you just speak, and there's no planning, no like anything, right? You just basically channel. So I'm now watching these other participants, and Claudia is one of the participants, and Claudia is a master at this, right? She is just amazing, creating like amazing talks out of thin air, and I'm so inspired by her and these other women. And in 2 practices, I just winged it. I mean, it wasn't perfect or anything. I don't even know what I said, how it compared to what I say now, but I got through it. And it was amazing. But anyway, Claudia and I have hit it off since then. And if you have read her bios, I joke with her, she is just like the poster child of new beginnings. And it's just can do it all, and just fearless and just so creative. And so we met towards the tail end, because that is 5 years ago. She was already, I don't think, were you a chef already? Or yeah, you were catering already, but didn't work at Culinary Angels. And now she's doing this training and this amazing, what neurographica stuff to become an art therapist, and has become an RTT, rapid transformational therapist. And I've learned a bit about that at Anna's retreat in Joshua Tree, and Claudia and I have done other retreats also together. The ones that I shared with you with the stones was, where was this? Like
It was in Scottsdale, I think. It was the triple labyrinth.
yeah.
We had
So along this labyrinth, we took these pictures, and then the snake went into the beginning again. That was a premonition 5 years ago. So anyway, we've done a lot of magical stuff together, and then we both live in Pleasanton. We've even met together to talk about our separate businesses, because now she's also becoming, or is practicing as a hypnotherapist, and compared notes and stuff. And it just never crossed our minds to like do a retreat together, because I wasn't there and she wasn't there, and then suddenly it's like boom, it's like we should be supporting each other's businesses, but we're still thinking separate, and we always hit it off and have so much fun. And it's just like, she's my sister from another mother. So I'll stop there, because I'll fill the whole hour talking about Claudia. But I'm going to give the floor to Claudia and just see what she wants to talk about. But we'll talk about anything and any questions you guys have about us, and what we might have in mind for this retreat, other retreats. We want to hear from you, what sounds good to you. And if you, even if you are not wanting to go to this particular retreat, what is a dream retreat, just help us out here. We want to make it like the most amazing thing. Our intention really is, like the new beginnings, but we talked about it somewhere today. We really want to show how we live in a very integrated way that is very much in line with how the Taos people live. It's not spirituality on the side and then the mundane stuff, it's just everything interwoven. And so particularly one we want to interweave is sacred traditions around food and appreciation for Mother Earth, but also creative, our inner creative and creative work. And she's an amazing artist and I have a few little talents on the side, so we'll do something amazing. And of course she's done it all. She's been a gym owner, and I was a Tai Chi certified instructor at one point, and I've been doing yoga for a decade, so I'm sure we can whip something up. That's gonna be amazing. So anyway, here's Claudia.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's such a pleasure, such a privilege to be here. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I just don't want to talk too much because I want to give space for you guys to ask questions. I just want to say that one of the things that is so many things here, but one of the things that is so important for me in the role that I am stepping into the world for my own healing and the healing that I see that humanity is moving towards is this space of creating sanctuary every step of the way, every part of ourselves that we bring into our life, creating sacredness around that. And the retreat options have been so fulfilling for me. I remember Anna, so wonderful to have that experience of catering the Nourish Your Goddess, Nourish Your Authentic Self. Look at this. These are the beautiful mugs that she gifted all of the participants, and I have mine. So that retreat, catering that retreat with Anna as the lead and holding the space, and me having the opportunity to once again, after a break of bringing food, nourishment, body wisdom, that communion for nourishment of all of the parts of ourselves, at the same time honoring Mother Earth, was such a huge awakening for me that I realized that I needed to do this over and over and over again, but I didn't really see how it would fit into my professional life. And then I met Loraine there after not talking to her for years, for like 2 or 3 years, something like that. And it was in automatically this combustion of elements and synchronicities. Where she's coming from, we're actually cultural neighbors in a way, right? She's from Suriname, I'm from Venezuela, and we both immigrated here many years ago, and we have embraced this beautiful culture, but we also bring in our own ancestral roots in our own culture, and the deep regard for Mother Nature and the deep regard for our place in the world to, oh my goodness, to bring so much beautiful love and light and healing for the greater good. So I remember I told you, Loraine, you have to do your retreat, and I want to cater your retreat.
She planted that seed. That's why I'm like, who am I gonna ask? Oh yeah, Claudia.
And she's like, oh no, I'm not ready to do a retreat. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to cater her retreat. So then, long story short, we're talking a few days ago, literally, like she texts me, are you available to talk? I have this idea. And I'm like, sure, call me. It was Sunday. And here we are, the home already reserved, and an entire schedule pretty much laid out. And more than anything, the real heart in this container that we're creating, that we're just so holding with so much love and honor and privilege to be able to create this opportunity for who's being called to come in and really breathe that in and be held in their new chapter or their path towards their new beginning. And she and I, Loraine and I were talking, we've been talking every day, I think. And but today we're talking about, we're new every day. We have a new beginning every day. With every breath is a new beginning. With every step we take, we can be new. And that's a pretty profound mindset that if we really bring it into our life, we can totally make whatever we desire, whatever our heart calling, our soul burning desire is, we can totally bring it into a reality. And
Yeah.
holding that with reverence, like, I keep thinking life wants to be fully self-expressed through us. Are we
Mm-hmm.
going to allow it to be so? And life
Mm-hmm.
wants to have a good time. Like I believe that life is here wanting to have their way with us. Its
Oh yeah.
way, her way with us. And we're here like all confused, anxious, stressed out. And what if we just allow it to happen and bring in that sense of sanctuary and retreat to our everyday life? So it's an integration of all these parts of what we think it's out there. Eternity is out there. It's in the horizon. No, it's actually right here. It's actually happening as we take a deep breath, as we gather, as we talk about, igniting our hearts and supporting each other in this path of living life full out, fully
Mm-hmm.
embracing our gifts. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't even need to know what that looks like, but just
Yeah.
talking about it feels so good and so juicy and true. And yeah. There was something else I was going to say and I forgot, but anyway. Oh yeah, I was going to say that so, and on that note of retreat, the concept of retreat, in December I decided that I wanted to try a new concept of a virtual retreat, and I didn't even know what that was going to be like, but it's like I want to, I was feeling this calling of what if we can all create sanctuary, outer sanctuary and inner sanctuary in our own space, not having to go somewhere. Going somewhere is phenomenal. It's great. But being able to have that experience of in the here and the now, and how do we create it and how do we hold that energy throughout our day. And so I created that. I launched it. I didn't really know exactly what I was doing, but I think I was just allowing it to be and to happen. And we're on our third week, and I have 5 beautiful women that are showing up. And as we're moving through it, it's such a profound experience for myself as well. And it's been very humbling. And I'm just
Mm-hmm.
very curious about what's going to happen and how we're going to be able to bring that level of integration in an in-person retreat somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
and help support the integration of that in your everyday life. Because there's nothing other than our mindset that is keeping us from living in sanctuary, sacredness, and
Yeah.
retreats.
Yeah, in the place of power. I am gonna let you guys ask your question, but I just have to do a
I'm
little
gonna, I'm
follow-up.
gonna
I
do
mean,
it now.
she is just like so many things, but I'm gonna keep it short. Yeah, so the power of the place, we do know that. I do know that. I've been dreaming of like, okay, I wish I could do this retreat because every time I go, the power of place is like, oh, it intensifies everything times 10, art and guides coming through and like downloads on lessons before I even knew that were going to be the lessons. It's just so magical. And Claudia is so good at this. I have seen, like I said, the tail end when I read that whole, I didn't even know of all the different careers she's done, but I've just seen the tail end of it and how brave she is, switching things completely, going from chef to now this RTT therapist. And just, the last reunion we had at my house following the Joshua Tree retreat, I mean, she just like dove head first, like nothing, no safety net hardly, and she just goes for it. It's just like, it's so inspiring. And so seeing her, it gives you all the faith and trust in the universe that the universe has something in store for us. And I've been learning that. I mean, Red Sunrise and Taos, this whole project is teaching me the same thing. So I think we're, all in the same, on the same page with that. And, synchronistic things are happening with Claudia and Red Sunrise already too. And they starting to know of each other. So it's just so magical. But the other thing I wanted to say in terms of our development, well, you see, like we can go so deep and be so serene, and then we're like goofy little girls sometimes too. Our chemistry is like so delicious. But anyway, in terms of soul, the whole trajectory, we are like having joy and expanding and expressing ourselves. But there is like with the tree, like I think a certain phase that where I would put you guys and my students, which is, we're mature trees now, and then we are on the brink of becoming fuller mother trees. So in terms of soul purpose, what we were talking about today, Claudia and I, was like, I think many of the people who might be interested in this retreat is where we were like 5 years ago, where we're still thinking of things as a career move, or I don't have this skill yet, I'm trying to do this, and you're on the brink of things. For me, like would be the book talk, for her trying out different careers. But now where we're at, we're really seeing like the fuller picture of a soul purpose, where the career and different things you're doing is just a subset of it. And it's just so much fuller and richer to think of it as this soul purpose, and your career and job and even volunteer work or whatever you do of service, it's never going to fully capture it all. But once you live in that, and it becomes just your everyday ceremony and ritual, it's just so supportive that the things and the struggles you go through and the confusion and the setbacks in the job, in the this and the that, and trying to find the following or whatever, trying to plan a retreat, it is going so much different than how we would have done it probably 5 years ago, because we'd be fretting about this and making the down payment of that, and now it's just like it just falls in place. So that is where we think we can be helping the wise souls who are going to be coming to us, and the empaths and that is kind of our intention, where we're going to do like this soul purpose quantum leap, or clarification and recommitment and course correcting and all of that, with the help of all the guides, and make it at the same time a super delicious, amazing, like sensual, rejuvenating experience, where you also are going to come out rested and not like, oh my God, I gotta learn so much and I gotta integrate this and I need a vacation from that retreat. It's going to be a vacation at the same time. So that's our intention, that we have a great time and we meet each other. It's going to be a whole day with sun red rise. I'm dyslexic. Red sunrise, where you're going to be doing arts and crafts and getting to know how they live, and there might be even a day of service for whoever wants, the day they're going to be plastering their homes and get down and dirty and be touching Mother Earth, and people who want to go horseback riding. He has 3 horses, so 2 can go at a time. All of that will be included, and we will fit it in, and just, like we don't all have to do things together. There's going to be free time. There's going to be whatever you guys want. We'll incorporate it in the schedule. So I'll stop talking. I'm curious to hear, let's just check in and go around and see where you're at and how all this is landing. And if you have any particular questions about the retreat or concerns or wishes, how it's all sounding, we're all there, open for feedback. And thank you, Anna, for saying this. Already makes you feel like you're on retreat. Yeah. Yeah, I knew that. I told her at first, we're like, oh my God, we're ready for that. I'm like, I have a feeling, Claudia, if both you and I just show up without even any planning, we have so much to offer. You can just, she is like 6 expert like roles and things she's done in her life. I have like past lives in different roles and jobs, and we can pull out all of those skills and things that people might be interested in. So I'll go with Kira. I'll start with Kira because Kira was here first. How are you doing, Miss Kira?
I am doing okay. Still trying to just adjust to not being a student. So for those of you who don't know, I finally finished my graduate program and finished my dissertation, and so it's all done. Thank God. I'm like, God, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, I'm too old to go back to school. What did I do? And I just, anyway. So it's over, but I'm still kind of coming down from that. And it's been a little bit more stressful than I anticipated to be. It was kind of, there's a lot of unexpected, like weird feelings. I think things that I had suppressed for a long time. So I've, after some like neglecting to go into my sanctuary and retreat, I've started to do that more and meditate. And so that's been helping me feel grounded. I think that's really all what it was, is I just really haven't been grounding. Feel like I was kind of floating into the atmosphere. Like, so that's how I feel my anxiety manifests, if in terms of feelings. But so yeah, I agree with you. And that it does feel like I could completely see myself on this retreat. It sounds really exciting. I've been to Taos before. I loved it. Loved it. I love New Mexico is like such a spiritually like dope place. It's so cool. It is so cool. It's indescribable. And I think I've never been to a place like that in my life. It's so amazing, magical, very magical to me. I will definitely love to go. I don't think I have any questions at this time. Actually, I was reading when you were talking, I was looking at the what you sent out before. The date is still. Did I misread that, or do you have the date?
I
Like
think
the
I did. I send the email with June 1st to 6th, because we switched it to 2 to 7, because we are going to arrive the 1st, because Claudia is going to be visiting her daughter before then for her birthday. So I wanted her to be able to come Arizona, right? From Arizona straight to New Mexico, and, sort of reduce air fare and all that. So she is going to be meeting with me on the 1st. We're going to do the shopping, set the whole house up and everything. And then you guys will be joining us the 2nd. I hope for those of you, we said 1st to 6th, that it won't be an issue.
Okay, I see. Okay, I see it now. Okay, I somehow missed that. So okay, yeah, I definitely would like to come. I still have to kind of check some things, but I definitely want to go. This seems like it would be such a great experience this year. So
yeah,
I need it.
Yeah, and I was wondering how this was landing with you, because Claudia does, Kira does amazing work, and she is at on the I want to say brisk, not brisk, on the verge of applying for a new position and job. And and in that place, I think, where you're seeing it as work, as job, and of course you need to, as you're applying to that. But even during our conversations, when you're working on your dissertation, we started to delineate, like, how do you see this, or how do you approach this as just an assignment that is just a subset of this larger purpose? Her dissertation was on Black and African American women who were incarcerated and no longer incarcerated, right? And helping them to integrate and preventing relapses, or right. So anyway, I don't know if necessarily that is what you're going to be working in, but we started to already sort of carve out what is a bigger soul purpose, why you're here. So I think it would help with this too, and then it can totally help with the transition in the different jobs and finding your way and finding your place. So I don't know if that's landing or resonating, but
yeah, absolutely. And I think that the whole, like, what is your soul purpose, and what is, like, how does this all, like, the magic unfolding, how you put in the email, I think that's actually something that has been on my mind, and I've sort of I've been dismissing the work that I need to do in that area. Let's put it that way, because I'm thinking I'm trained to be a researcher. I have to be a researcher. This is what I've spent the last 5.5 years, but the reality is that I'm thinking of transitioning away a little bit from, and kind of, still being in the public health space, but just moving kind of into, more of a foundation grants management type of grant making space. But anyway, yeah, I think that that's a good, being, getting in touch, that kind of deep touch with really my soul purpose. I think soul's purpose is absolutely something I need to do. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I was kind of in a funk for the last like month, because I was just like, I don't know,
Oh,
there's like this war, this kind of like,
yeah,
so.
exactly.
Mhm.
And before we move to, I'll move to Anna next. It sounds like you're also like right there at the edge of what we are trying to do when you're saying, okay, I went into my sanctuary more frequently. I'm trying to integrate that more. We want to really get, when you come out of the retreat, like understand what is a practice of having this be so central. It's completely interwoven in your life, and it gave you arsenal of different tools, and Claudia has as many as I do and more, and so and fun things that we usually don't do in the therapies and groups I do, which are the art and the movement and creativity and cooking and stuff like that. So we wanted to be a totally integrative, holistic experience. So I think that might be something fun to look forward to as well. Do you want to say something, Claudia?
Yeah, thank you. It was so lovely to get to know you a little bit more, Kira, and in your process and where you are right now, where you want to be. One thing that I think I didn't mention is that the nourishing experience at the retreat is going to be a big part of the entire, container, where you're going to be held in this place of really understanding and activating body wisdom in nourishing your body with reverence and with honor and with love and sort of like ignite that reconnection, that restore that relationship with the body that we have disconnected from. We were born so connected to our body's needs and desires and wants, and we were very articulate about what we needed and what we wanted. And we, as we grew and we accepted suggestions from our environment, we learned to disconnect from that, and here we are. So part of that sacredness and sanctuary is also honoring this sanctuary that we have right here in what it needs to be at its full capacity and potential, be loved up and be held with so much love and reverence. So that's going to be part of the retreat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds so cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you're seriously considering. We'd love to have you. Just a little bit about the spaces. So we in the house we already reserved, there's 5 rooms. So there's now 3 rooms, 2 private and 1 with 2 beds. So the one with the 2 beds is, with people who share a room will get, it at reduced prices for $1,900, and they're 2 singles. So if that fills up fast, and it seems like it will because we get so many people interested, we are willing to reserve up to 2 other homes. And depending on whoever, if they want separate beds and share rooms, if people are already close and they like the reduced rate, we will find a house that meets their needs, or it could be individual rooms, and it could be more than 2, it could be even 3, up to 3 max. So but anyway, just wanted you to know of that situation, this particular house, and we will do it first come first serve. This particular house is amazing, but each room doesn't have its unique bathroom, so you guys will be sharing, you'll have your own room, but you're sharing bathroom. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there. All right, Anna, how are you?
Hello. I'm so excited for you both. It's just like filling me up so much to hear you both dream this retreat space and to just allow yourself to be guided in the creation of it. And I just loved reading that email, Loraine, with just like how it all came together and just like so much self-trust and I feel it because like as Claudia was mentioning, that retreat that Claudia and I hosted together, that Loraine was at as well. So I saw the 2 of them in action. So I can already sense like the synergy and the silliness and the magic. I truly believe that this retreat is going to be nothing short of transformative and deeply healing and needed. So Yeah, thank you
Well,
for
yeah.
allowing yourself to be guided in the creation of it.
Oh, you were a big part of it. I mean, Anna just opened the possible, and Anna's the queen of retreats. Anna does these amazing retreats in Hawaii, and even though she's no longer working as a photographer, she brings out your goddess self, then takes these amazing pictures. I think I've shared some. So Anna's done a ton of them, and she just made it seem like so effortless. And so I'm like, okay, she was my inspiration. Like, if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. And this is so much fun. And I was so pampered. I just love not like, I don't know anything. No one asked me anything. I would just like be a retreater myself. So it's like, oh, this is okay. I'm ready. I can do this.
Yes, yes, you can do this. And yeah, just trusting yourself, just what you've already done so far. That's totally the way that I did it as well. I mean, I created my first retreat without ever having been on a retreat before, and just figured out, well, what would I want? What do I need to get more of? And yeah, and so having said all of that, I'm like sad that I don't think I'm going to be able to make those dates. I'm hosting my goddess retreat in Hawaii, and we get back May 22nd, and it just feels a little close. So I'm going to have to feel into, the dates, and, I'm doing engineering work as well right now, and trying to juggle all the things. So, if not this one, for sure the next one. But I just know that this is just, yeah. Like I do feel like the past, I want to say like the past 3, maybe even 4 years of my life, I feel like I have been living in my soul's purpose and it drives me crazy because my mind's like, what are we doing? And I'm like, I don't know, but we're doing it. Whatever that is. And even having said that, it still would feel so good to just be nourished by you and held by you, and to experience myself in an even deeper way, because there's always room for expansion and knowing oneself, the core of oneself, the soulful self, even more. And so yeah. So I'm absolutely called to it. It's just a matter of timing and logistics on my end.
Yeah, no, I feel like we are already like doing a new moon ceremony in Livermore, by the way, in the 20th. We're just been called to do so many things. So I know we're gonna do more locally. We're gonna do a one-day locally for this alum group who can't all travel and afford going all the way there. But we're also feeling called to do it in Taos like every year probably, or if there's a lot of interest, maybe again in September when they have their biggest actually dances and events happening. So no worries, there'll be plenty. And I think we're gonna do a lot of different things together. But thanks for sharing. Thanks for the inspiration and support. Kate. Oh, did you want to say anything, Claudia? Okay.
Hi, congratulations for yeah, the universe has been busy. I
can't stop smiling. I'm like,
Universe has been so busy. It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah, I say I'm doing great. I mean, this is, I don't know if you can see this. This is really what's come through for me this week. This is a beginning of probably a 2-year process, a project. I can't talk anymore about it. It's just total chaotic mess now. And now I get to have fun with it. It's a big download I've been waiting for a while. So I'm quite excited about it. I think it's probably, it'll come out in some form or another, but so that's where I am. And
yay,
it's good. Yeah. And then I also, so others wouldn't know, it seems like this week I was meant to really be sort of a channel for Loraine. There were like people asking me for connections, for healing, and it was like, oh well, yeah. So Loraine and I have been chatting this week, really just sharing names and introductions, and
Yeah, and thank you
Yeah,
so
so
much
definitely the
yeah,
universe is very busy this week, and
yeah,
it's good to
and
just kind of be along. And
yeah.
as far as the retreat, I mean, for me, it's it's more the play that I'm interested in, because I integrate and then celebrating integration. I think that's something that is I worked really hard to through different channels to bring that together, but to celebrate that. And the looser and more fun it is and more playful it is, the better.
Yeah.
That's sort of where I am without without expectations. It's not there. And honestly, I mean, Jay and I do personal retreat every year, and every day is a retreat. And so um, I don't do group retreats, but yet Taos has been calling me for about 2 years.
Mm.
So it's the place. And
Mm.
the humans are kind of, you're all there, but, and I think that that'll fill in. And I think there'll be a lots that'll come out of just the community and the connections. And so
Yeah,
I'm just would be an openness for me to be there. And the
thank
freedom to just
yeah.
to indulge in my quirkiness, my own quirkiness.
Of course, it'd be a pleasure to have you. And you know what? I mean, now we're getting a more general poll and idea of things, and we're setting down the schedule, but nothing is set in stone. Once we have the group, the core group, who's you know like committed to going, we're going to do a poll again, and from the asking like what time do you want to get up and have breakfast to how much free time and journaling and walks on your own you want. We're going to make it work. It's not it's for us to support what you guys want. And
Yeah.
do you have anything you want to add, Claudia?
I was tickled when you said play because
That's my word.
a big part of the nourishment component is, yes, it's the sacred communion between body and food and our thoughts and the whole experience, but there's a lot of play too.
Yeah.
It's going to be as playful as you want it to be. And so the meal times are going to be an opportunity to play, an opportunity to discover, an opportunity to awaken. And yeah, it's all playful. I love to say to people like, I started my career here in the United States as a fitness trainer, nutrition educator, and diet consultant. And I very quickly realized that we needed to bring in food play into the game. And just like we grew up being told you don't play with your food, well, out of that, we need to play with our food.
Uh-huh.
And I just wanted to speak to that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was telling you about the first, when I went to Women Speak, and, people were talking about all kinds of topics and, like your traditional speeches, right? And there comes Claudia, and Claudia has all kinds of food and fruit and flavors. And she's just like doing the talk about like, okay, we're going to play, and has us play and incorporates play. And play is Claudia's big word with art and everything as well. So for sure, play is going to be incorporated. And what I told her too, like I've done other more local retreats, weekend and whatnot, and I said I was exhausted. If I do this retreat, that was one of the main things. It wasn't even like, can I do it? Do I want to do it? And be so exhausted, and so I told her, if we do this, then I would love to do it and share the work, and we're going to come out of it rested, and I don't want to come out of it also exhausted. We're going to have to play and make it fun and not get too uptight on anything. So that's why, we're kind of loose like that. But Red Sunrise, a whole different level. So I said, we're going to have a disclaimer on Red Sunrise. He's going to have the whole day. We're going to just not even look, this is the experience, because we could already see the planning and when, and he's just so hard to pin down. So I was like, this is fine. We're just going to say, let's see how that goes. And so that is also part of the play and the letting go. to see how I'm challenged by that in terms of just trusting the moment and trusting the sunrise and where things are happening at what time. I can't even, have a conversation yet in terms of how long does it take for this or that part. It takes as long as it takes. I don't know. So you guys are going to have an experience just like I have, and we're just going to play and roll with it. So we figured if he has the whole day, that should be fine. So anyway, that's what the feel of it is. We're going to trust the guidance coming through, and we have a loose schedule, but we're going to definitely, play with it. So Whitney, I'm switching to you. Thank you so much for joining. How are you? I think you missed a little bit of the beginning, but yeah, I'm just, kind of asking everybody how they're doing and if they have maybe any questions or concerns about the retreat or wishes, even if, it's not something you're planning on going to. We just want to hear where everybody's at.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yes, I was a little late. I just got off work. So, but I tried to join as soon as I could. Yeah, I did see the email. I haven't looked through all of it and all the details quite yet. It'll just be a matter of the dates and if I can take off of work. So we'll see. But Taos is also somewhere I've always wanted to go. I visited my friend in New Mexico, I think last year or the year before, and we almost went there. So it's been on my mind since. And New Mexico in general is just an amazing place and really touched my heart. So I'd love to go back there. And so I really want to attend as well. So we'll just see if the dates work out. But it sounds really, really amazing and fun with all the play and everything. And something that I think I've always wanted to do, but I've never done. And it's something I'm more comfortable with than I would have been in the past, but still definitely out of my comfort zone, just being like in such a personal space with other individuals of any like sex or gender. I think like I'm a person like I really am used to being by myself. So it would definitely be different for me. But also it sounds exciting. So that's my feedback about the retreat, and I'm looking forward to looking into it more and seeing if I can attend that on one. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Just starting with the last thing, we will definitely be addressing that, huh, Claudia? We have so many methods to get to the bottom of that and hopefully seal off kind of the cracks, that we fall into, because many of us have the skills and the tools, but, sometimes I think it's an experience that you can't even give somebody in an individual session or a group session. It needs to, sort of be this more profound, like transformational experience. I'm not saying necessarily it's going to be Taos, but places and situations and experiences like that could do it. It has definitely done that for me. We went one time, I don't know if you actually been to that one, maybe you weren't, but anyway, the Woman Speak had an event in Sedona once. It was like a reunion. I don't know if you went, Anna, but I was just standing there on the land and I was just bawling and bawling and bawling. And I understood, that my issues with speaking, in your mind, you're thinking, okay, it's public speaking anxiety, it's whatever, my selective mutism, it's this, it's that. I was so connected to the power of the land, and so much emotion was coming up that I was trying to articulate and be the vessel for. I realized that I just felt so overwhelmed and scared and victimized maybe by it and thinking it was me. That's one of the reasons why I also teach you guys, often like, identify the emotions, be careful not to over-identify. I've over-identified so much with weird stuff moving through me and think, oh, mine must be weird, but it's bleed through. So anyway, that was me tuning into all that power. And fortunately, I had enough tools and things to understand that it wasn't me. It was this power coming through. And I didn't try to articulate it. I didn't try to make sense of it. I just cried and bawled and bawled and bawled. And what that did was it just cleared that channel and made me understand, that I was to be the vessel for that. And this power is nothing to be scared of and blah, blah, blah. But so anyway, that's just one example of transformational experiences that you could have in in a place of power that, you know, you just can't have, no human can reproduce that. So anyway, I wanted to address that. And I don't know if you read the disclaimer. Claudia and I had an in-depth conversation too about gender and sex, and, you know, we want to be inclusive and all that, but because of the close quarters, because of the bathrooms are going to be shared, there's no locker rooms, we don't, you know, of course we kind of will vet and talk to everybody who signs up regardless of your sex and gender, but because of the imbalances in this society and all that, we are only opening it up to women and people, all genders, but not people who identify as male. And even though that is going to be the case, we are at the same time very focused on balancing energies, sacred masculine, sacred feminine energies in everyone who will be attending, no matter how you identify. So that is going to be the focus. And the ultimate focus is, of course, to balance all of that out so that it could be inclusive for whoever. And we've even talked about options. We really love this house, but if we were, for example, to open up to all genders, we would first start off with maybe a day retreat, or, you know, smaller groups that we're hosting where it is all genders, anybody can come, and just see how we do and who we attract and how it goes. And then later, if it's something more where, you know, where we would be staying overnight, we probably, and she's been to retreats like that where people would have their own individual rooms and their, you know, doors and keys and all that. So anyway, I don't know if you know, had a chance to read that in a disclaimer, the last email that I sent, but anyway, we did address that. If I don't know if that addresses your concern, but that is how we are taking care of that. The other thing, I'm not sure if you heard, but if you have, for example, a good friend or somebody who wants to go on the retreat with you, the shared rooms are $500 less expensive. So, and we did decide on a significant discount because, you know, it is a bit harder. I mean, with your good friends and stuff, maybe not, but it's also open for people who don't know each other, and we try to make a match and, you know, see if you can be wanting to share a room if you can't afford it. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that. I didn't see that. And I guess it wasn't so much a worry on my part of any specific, you know, sex or gender attending or anything like that. I was just, I guess, saying that when I explained, just like to be like whoever's coming. But I just meant it like in general, just being around anyone is new and like uncomfortable for me, but also exciting and something I want to do. So yeah.
I'll have Claudia answer this too, but we're introverts, even though it might not seem like at times, but we're most likely gonna attract more introverts than not. So we're also keeping that in mind. We're doing kind of an introvert maybe what was the word, introvert, sensitive introvert, like informed retreat. And I'll have Claudia respond. Yeah, did you want to say something?
No, you said it so well.
All right.
I think that there's because of our path, Loraine and I have come to understand our own needs for space and silence, and as part of, you know, what balances our energies for us to be able to do the work that we do and hold space and everything. So yeah, definitely the schedule's going to be loose enough for people to integrate whenever it feels like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to be here, and there's total space and freedom to stay in your space and do your inner work. And yeah, so that's, I guess that's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, you know, it is one of my strengths. I'm now reflecting on some feedback I have gotten from people in my online groups. And, you know, some people are concerned. They've been to other groups and they're like, well, I'm an empath and I'm struggling with a lot, but I'm just worried because now in a group, I'm going to be even more, rather than getting help and support from myself, I'm going to be wanting to help so many others and empathize with their problems. And I think it's going to be even more overwhelming. And I think all of you have been in my groups. It's not that experience at all, because I really set up the structure, and we will also, in terms of the energetic boundaries and how to take care of ourselves, and and how to speak your truth. So that will for sure be ongoing in the retreat. But Claudia and I are just so good at this. I mean, we went on a walk. Where was that park that we went to? I forget what it's called.
Joshua Tree, that park where we hiked, Hannah, at the end of our time in Joshua Tree, like at the end of our outing. It's a national park.
Joshua Tree National Park.
Oh, what was that? Okay. Anyway, it was a wonderful retreat, but we ended up together, Claudia and I, hiking and enjoying each other. But there is absolutely no obligation towards just your highest self. And at some point, Claudia, we were cooking up this retreat probably then too, because she was like in a deep space to like kind of seeing how her path would unfold. And and it was no insult or rejection or anything to me, which is like she wanted to just now venture off on her own and just walk the trails and just go separate ways and then meet up later. So we just did that, and she did her thing. And so we will definitely set it up like that, where there is no groupie obligation to anything. Whatever you feel like needs to come out, which won't surprise us at all kinds of things will come out. We will totally support that, and be open, celebrate that even. So I hope that helps, and that I think the ideal container for what a lot of us empaths have difficulty with, which is to be individuated, to be yourself, and yet to be part of a group, and how to do that well. So that was my last closing comment. Do you have anything that you want to add, Claudia?
No, I just feel very, very grateful. This feels so exciting and juicy and like a big soul calling for me. And I guess that one thing that I could say now that I think about it is that let's stay open and curious, and we never know when when things are gonna flourish and show up, and it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I guess I'm doing this, because this is exactly what happened this week. I was totally not even in that realm when I spoke to Loraine, and within 12 hours, okay, we're doing this. So that was yeah, that was magic right there. It was fascinating. And it's more every day that we talk and we let our juices, meld and produce something else. It's like, wow, okay, so I guess that we're doing this, and then we're doing this, and we're doing this. It's really phenomenal.
That container is going to be a cauldron. It's going to be a hot one. It's already cooking. It's already cooking a lot of magic up. So
big trust as well. Yeah, big trust.
Yeah. So anyway,
trust from a place of love, and yeah, not trust from a place of, oh my God, which is
see, now we're gonna get giddy and silly.
I mean, it's true. Like we can push ourselves to trust because we should trust, or we have no other choice but trust. But here is trusting and really getting validation over and over again.
And it's like dropping in the body and being with that slow trust, kind of, right? Because we kind of trust and then we want the certainty. But it's like the unfolding and the, oh God, it's alchemizing, it's becoming, we don't know what it is yet, but we're trusting that we've done it so many times that that's what it feels like. It's kind of like when you think of a seed, it's not just, oh, this is a beautiful sapling. It's first going to burst and do this ugly thing and do that. And so you're going through all that shape shifting. You're like, is this the right thing? Or what I call like the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. Suddenly you're no longer becoming the longer, stronger caterpillar? How do you trust that what you're doing and you're dissolving and you're doing all this brand new stuff is on the right track, right? And so it is really that body wisdom that Claudia described, that ceremony, like, oh my gosh, you know, if she's going to do this the first day. Oh, I have to say what she has in mind for the first day for you guys. But she's going to do this powerful body activation. Okay, what Claudia creates is her own recipe, this Leche de Gaia. It's like bone broth without the bone and without animals. And you know, we are going to collect these things together that she's going to be putting in this Leche de Gaia, and it's going to soak and be preparing for days. And then on top of that, she's going to do this body wisdom activation, so that when you're dropping in your body and going through all these weird changes and these new beginnings, that you trust, that you don't abort the process prematurely. You trust that it's happening. And as you go through it and you do it so many times, it's, you know, the signs and everything is going to become more prominent. And that's why, you know, for us at this stage, we get so much magic and so many signs. But it wasn't like that in the beginning. You know, we're like, oh my God, what are we doing? And made lots of mistakes along the way. But we're there to guide you, and we're there to tell you what some ways are, you know, to deepen it, and also just to work with the body, to set the intention and work with the power of the body to deepen it. So I guess that is my last parting thought. Do you have any more? Leche de Gaia?
Leche de Gaia is a vegan bone broth, and it's made with power ingredients that are all extremely supportive of our immune system, our digestive system, and our body in general. But not only that, it's the way that it's made with so much I guess sacredness and honoring of Mother Earth's gifts, in everybody who had any way of impacting the ingredients to be available to us in the moment. So there's a lot of intention in the way that it's made, and then it cooks at low heat for several days, and then we harvest it, and then we consume it with a combination of miso and apple cider vinegar and coconut oil to infuse it with excuse me, a beautiful balance of elements and flavors and textures that just round it out so well. And the way that it's consumed is that if you've ever done cacao ceremony, it's in a similar way. It's extremely activating. It's a somatic experience that will activate your heart chakra, and just, you know, it'll be this infusion of supportive energies and activations that, yeah, will be so regenerating and rejuvenating and exciting. And then you'll be guided to, you know, go through your own process of supporting your body in this level. So yeah, we're going to be able to bring in the play, the honoring, the intention, and the body wisdom all together.
Yeah, all I could say, when you finally have that cup, that's where I couldn't even drink it. It was like, oh my gosh. And you drink it so slowly. It was so rich, so beautiful. So anyway, that's it. Oh my gosh, it's 6:05. I'm not going to keep you guys longer. Thank you so much for attending. If you are serious and want to hold and reserve a spot, text me and I will send you. I haven't even whipped up the invoice yet, but I will, so that you can do that. But we'll, you know, we're keeping a list of whoever is serious and will reserve a room for you, or a bed or whatever. Okay.
And if you know of anybody who might be interested as well, and they want to speak to either one of us, we're available. So yeah.
And what I'm going to do is actually share this link, and you can share this with whoever, you know, if you want to, you know, get a friend or whoever you want to join and see hear what we're talking about and planning. Sure, why not? All righty, have a great rest of your evening, weekend, and we will be talking next month again.
All right, bye. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Bye, y'all. Bye, Whitney.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.